language and logic,
Mm.
right?
Mm.
Yeah. If you just like language, then you can be a writer, you can be a journalist, you can be,
Okay,
right?
and logic.
If you just like logic, you be engineer, you be right, no?
I know.
But for lawyer, um,
Okay.
you must think properly, logically.
Hey guys, this is June. I'm the founder of Easylaw, and today it's my pleasure here that we have Mr. Phye Keat. He is the managing partner of Raja, Darryl Loh, and Mr. Chu is a seasoned practitioner in corporate commercial ICT, and he's also a highly respected practitioner in competition and intellectual property law. So, Mr. Chu, thank you so much to be with us today on our Easylaw Interview Show.
Thank you, June, for inviting me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, pleasure is all mine. So, Mr. Chu, I always wonder, what has inspired you to become a lawyer when you were young? Have you ever thought, one day you are going to manage one of the large law firms in Malaysia?
Well, I'm not sure I was ever inspired. I came from a normal middle class family, middle income family, and we just take one step at a time, right? From school, then you say,
Yeah.
what are you good at? What subjects are you good at? Can you do well in class? And then you keep going and you say, okay, now you come to, say, pre-university, what we call Form 6 at that time. Then you get your results. And then in those days, in maybe even now in the current days, you're like, okay, these are your results. What can you really apply for? That kind of thing. Yeah. So then law came out. I did have an influence from my older brother, because he was studying law in
Okay.
Australia. And my parents had somehow managed to send him there. And he was saying why law is nice to study, because he was just 1.5 years ahead of me. So
Okay.
yeah. And then because as a Malaysian student, normal student, you don't actually know what law is about because it's not a subject, right?
Yes, you're right.
Yeah, but he seemed to be quite interesting what he's doing. So when the results came out and I said, what could I apply for? Is it medicine or law? Then I applied for both. Then I got the law in the law undergraduate course in the University of Malaya, law faculty.
Oh, okay.
Right. Yeah.
Back
And
then,
then
they have
when
a undergraduate course for law faculty back then.
yes. It was the
Oh, okay.
only law faculty. It was the only local university with a law faculty at that time.
Oh,
We're
it's not
talking
like
about the early
pre-U.
80s. We're talking about the early 80s.
Okay.
Today,
Don't reveal your
many
age.
universities. Today many today many local universities have a law faculty, right? Yeah. So when I entered law school, and I was just like, wow, lapping it up. It was like, this is amazing what I'm reading. It's amazing what I'm thinking and how we're discussing issues, we're discussing legal principles. And I said, wow, this is something I really enjoy doing. So I guess the aptitude came to me at that time. Yeah. So not really like you go and see LA law, you're going to see law and order, and you say, I want to be that person in court. I didn't have that kind of a pull towards the profession. It's just that this was a subject I thoroughly enjoyed in my university years, which to me is a good indication that you might like practicing what you studied. Yeah.
Okay, that's really, really interesting. So there are so many different areas of practice in law, right? So how
Yes.
did you pick the right niche to focus in? And any advice for our young lawyers out there in picking the right area of practice?
Okay, so one of the greatest joys of life is to be able to enjoy your work.
Okay.
Right? You don't work to live, you live to work, right? You enjoy going to work every day, and if you can get that in your life, I think it is a wonderful thing, right? Of course, don't ignore your family and your other responsibilities, right? And don't overwork for sure, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So when I graduated and I then applied to be a lawyer, applied to the law firm, this particular law firm. I've never worked anywhere else, right?
Okay.
Then I realized, wow, okay, which area of law? So I like to share that the first thing you must do is decide whether you're going to be a court lawyer or a non-court lawyer, what we call a litigator or a non-litigator, because it's two different kinds of lawyering, right? Yeah. So I found that when I was doing my, what we call chambering, the 9 months after you graduate, where you're being like a pupillage or apprenticeship to be a lawyer, I realized that I don't think I was suited to be a litigator.
Okay.
I was more suited to be a non-litigator. So to tell the ones coming, the young ones coming up now, is probably you should try to work at which one is more suited to you, which one you have a better aptitude for. Then after you decide that, then you do the next level of what kind of lawyer would I like to be. For that, you have to ask yourself the next question. Do you want to be a what we call generalist?
All right.
Or do you want to be a specialist? Right?
That's
So
smart.
some lawyers say, you put me in one subject matter, I'm going to be bored. Right? So
Okay.
I want to visit clients of different types. Right?
All right.
But then I also have friends who say, no. I just want to, like what the firm does, I just want to act for doctors. Right? I want to be in healthcare. I just want to be a legal subject matter expert in medical law. Right? Or like in one of my subject area, intellectual property. Right? I just want to be, that's what all I want to be in. Yeah. So for me, I realized that I had this generalist thing, right?
Okay.
So pick up the niches along the way. But in my case, it was based on the need of the firm.
Okay.
Okay.
Wow,
So
means you're very all-rounded.
Yeah. And by necessity, because the firm was developing, and as it was developing, it says for the firm to grow, we need people to handle new practice areas. And somehow it sort of came upon me. I started as doing real estate work, then commercial work, then corporate work. Then the firm said, let's build a strong intellectual property department. Then I said,
that's how you started.
that sounds interesting. Okay, I go and learn how to do, because didn't study intellectual property in law school, wasn't offered in law school. But to be a lawyer, it doesn't mean you can only do what you studied in law school, right?
Yep,
you can also
you're
build
right.
your own. Yeah. So then, okay, I'll study intellectual property, and I say, well, this is great. This is great stuff. Knowing what is the copyright, what is this invention all about? How do I protect it, right? Then as the firm moved on, it says, hey, Malaysia is entering multimedia super corridor on intellectual on ICT. Right, and so again, we must get onto that bandwagon, right? So if I get IP and ICT quite connected, so so maybe got other lawyers doing IP work already lah. So can you move on to the next one, right? Yeah. Then I said, okay, because I didn't decide that I only want to be an IP lawyer the rest of my life. I mean, if someone and I had partners who wanted that, they say, I just want to be an IP lawyer for the rest of my life, no problem. Nah, give you, right? But then when this one came up, okay, the firm needs someone to build this one. So I said, okay, I also go in there and see how, this is fantastic. This is what computers do. And then what is the law relating to computer? What is computer law? What is software program? How does one protect it? Then I went into that area. So it's that way of, for me anyway, it's like growing in an area. And of course, this was based on opportunities that where you were working. And it was like, in a sense, how to say, good for me that these were avenues, and I was responding to what the firm needed, right? Which, of course, if you become a partner, you have to respond to the needs of the firm, right? And
yes,
then sometimes like or don't like also must do, right? Yeah, but
you're right.
God, I thank God all the practice areas I entered into, I like it. Like today, I'm in competition. It's a new area. It only came about in the later part of the last 10 years only. And I said, wow, this is amazing also to see how competition law challenges the way we do business, So it's that kind of thing. Yeah. If you got me, yeah.
Yeah, I got you. I think it's like all of us listening to you, we can feel like your enthusiasm and your energy having roll out in this in law, like it feels so inspiring listening to your story and how you pick the niches. So young lawyers out there, so this is the advice for you. Like, first you need to decide become a litigator or non-litigator, and then you pick whether you want to be a generalist or specialist. That is like fantastic advice. So I want to know.
Yes.
So becoming a lawyer is like so busy, right? So what are your favorite productivity hacks that you can share as a managing partner?
Okay. No shortcut.
Okay. That's great advice.
Yeah. No shortcut. when you so when I'm a non-litigator,
Okay.
where I enjoyed being that, and so I realized that before you give an advice, you must make sure that you've done the homework and been done properly, right? So in a sense, a productivity hack does not mean a shortcut, right?
That's
Because
great.
of the fact that you must deliver a product, which means an agreement or a piece of advice that actually has that competent advice and the law behind it, right? So there's, in a sense, no shortcut. You cannot bluff your way through, right? And you must know what you're doing.
Yes.
Otherwise, sooner or later, it will come back and bite you. The client will know, right? That kind of thing. Yeah. So in a sense, no shortcut, but you can sort of be able to do things in a efficient manner, right? Yeah. And so this must be skills you build along the way, right? So client give you a problem. The first thing lawyers need to know is what are the legal issues that come in, and what is the law saying about that. If you're not sure what the law is, you need to find out what the law is saying about that, and then come up with, therefore, the client needs to know this, or therefore, the agreement must be drafted in this manner, right? Now, the main thing is, the more you do it, the more you make your mind think about how to do something, the faster you can roll out the product,
Yes.
right? So in a sense, it takes time to build that competency so that you produce quality work. Yeah.
That's
the
great.
shortcut is, hey, go and look inside the computer, the firm's database, pull out the agreement, same title, put in there, change party, jalan, right? Then you've missed the whole point of, did you understand what you gave out, right? And do you know why you did it that way? And why is this clause there? So in the initial years, go home quite late lah.
That's
Yeah, because you don't just want to send out the agreement. I know the
yes.
firm has been doing this agreement like that. So you want to do it. Then you say, but I'm not just going to go. I need to know why this agreement says what it's saying. And if I don't know, I'm better going to ask my senior. Why is this
Okay.
clause like that? Or I don't understand what this clause is saying. So once you build this kind of base knowledge, then you can innovate from there, right? Yeah. Otherwise, you will always be not sure or depend on luck. And
Yep.
that's not what a lawyer should be like, lah. So in a sense, you cannot, no shortcut. You have to build that competency that comes with experience and practice.
Yeah, great advice. I think no shortcut, and you really have to understand what you're doing. It's not like you blindly taking what your senior is advising or what the past people have been doing. Maybe they have done it wrong, then you just copy and paste version. That's great.
Precisely
Can I
right.
know so far, what was the biggest challenge you faced in your practice, and then how did you overcome the challenges?
Oh, okay, yeah. So this one for me, as from a firm perspective, right? So sometimes we have departures from the firm, right? And then that's normal in life, right? I mean, someone
Yes.
says, yeah,
Yes.
I want to take a new path, etc. So the whole issue becomes, oh, what happens? What is the impact on the firm when this person departs? And then it gets more challenging when it's a group of people depart, right?
Ah,
We are still
yes.
friends, there's nothing to do with that, right? They just want to chart their own
Yes.
path, right? Yeah.
Yes.
So one of the challenges is like, you like what I said about my own journey, right? So this one I built this, then someone take, I go to next one, right? Then sometimes have to go stun, have to reverse gear
I
because
understand.
suddenly this one
Someone,
suffers, departure, and because you move into rescue operation.
yes, yes.
Right. And then who is left? Manpower. Then I said, oh, I left this topic 5 years ago. Can I remember what the law is already?
I
Then you
see.
come back, you rebuild again. So it's challenging in the sense that you're worried, can you keep the clients, right? Will you still have this practice area that is thriving? Yeah. So it's happened in the firm before, right? And then to come back and sort of do damage control, build up that part again is something I found challenging, because it's like, oh no, I got to cover my back again, right? And come back. Yeah. So what helped to me was like steadfastness and perseverance, right? And then to always having teamwork, Yeah, you do it alone is really scary, right? So it's like the support of those who are with you to help you solve the problem, or to how to rebuild the team, finding new talent, or asking existing talent to change course.
Wow, just like
Yeah.
you change
Yeah,
course, just like
right. Yeah. And then say, hey, let's do this together, and then the comradeship to overcome this, right? We may never be the same, but maybe in 2 years' time, we would have come back again, and build that part again. So I guess the perseverance part and the need to get people together, mobilize and solve the problem. Yeah.
that's a great leadership.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's really awesome sharing by you so far. Like, learn so much. Even for me, like non-lawyer, I also learned so much from you in terms of running a company. So I want to ask like one last question. Like, you have been listed as a leading individual by the Asia Pacific Legal 500 for 2017 up until 2022 and won numerous awards during your practice. Like, so many young lawyers want to learn from you. Like, I get started when I get excited. So what are your top 3 advice that you have to our young lawyers out there today? Top 3 advice.
Okay. So I was thinking the first one is be ready to work hard, but have a life.
Yes.
Right? So remember I said just now is like let work be something you enjoy, but don't overwork so that that's the only thing in your life. Then
Yes.
actually it's counterproductive, right? You may not become a good worker because you only live, it's only work that all you live for, right? Yeah. So I totally understand a work-life balance is crucial, and you need to balance this. For me, if you just and I've spoken to a psychologist before, because I think there was a time in my life when I overworked.
Okay. Yeah, what the psychologist say?
So he said that your working life, if you work more, and please don't take this as the law, and those listening to this, right, don't think that this is like cast in stone, right? It all depends individual to individual, but as a rule of thumb, right, for good, what we call mental health and wellness.
Yeah,
okay,
something
right?
like that.
Something like that, yeah. Okay. Working hours per week. Okay, working hours per week. If you pass 50 hours a week,
okay,
I would say I'm talking about regular basis. I mean, sometimes you got a case you got a project on 100 hours a week, so you're still working, right? But that is off and on. I'm talking about average, right?
Yes.
So anything beyond 50 hours a week, you probably should have an orange light.
Oh.
Traffic light, right?
Okay.
Orange light. That means, okay, watch yourself, right? Yeah. Then if you regularly go past 60 hours a week, right, it should be danger sign.
60 hours, assuming that I'm working 6 days, that will be 10 hours per day. That will be starting from 9 perhaps to 9 with the lunch hour and dinner.
Yep. Correct.
Danger.
Or if 5-day week, that means you're doing 12-hour
12
days.
hours. Correct.
Right? You come at 9, you go back at 9. You come at 10, you go back at 10.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So he kind of said that, based on studies and all that, perhaps if you regularly go past 60-hour weeks, be careful lah, right? Burnout may be a real experience.
Yes.
Right? And then this work-life balance is like not being done very well in your life. Yeah. I'm nowhere saying that it cannot be done. Right? I know many lawyers who are like, doing this, right? And then they say, I do this for 10 years and after that, I'm going to quit practice. And I mean, why like that, right? I mean, but that is this part, work hard, but have a life. Right? Yeah. Then the number 2 is, I think maybe this goes without saying, but it's like never stop learning. Right? Never come to a place where you say, I know enough already. Anything anybody asks me, I know. I mean, the way the law is changing, the pace at which law is changing, right? So many of us find it so hard to keep up, right? And I still enjoy. Oh, I didn't realize it's like that one.
Okay. Oh, so it's like new learning.
Yeah, new learning, light bulb here, light bulb there, and I still enjoy it, right? No matter how many years in practice, right? Oh, this is something nice to learn, you know. And of course, you start saying, how come I didn't know this before? Never mind lah. Better late than never, right? So
Yeah.
enjoy learning, continue to enjoy learning. You never stop after law school, right? And the law is a beautiful subject that because it is dynamic, it keeps changing. Law will always change to meet commercial or social changes. Law will always change, and sometimes it's changing too late. But
Okay.
yeah, to meet these new things, right? Intellectual property, for instance, is struggling to cope with artificial intelligence.
Oh yeah.
Right?
I
So
didn't
intellectual
realize
property must protect your ideas, right? But then AI is not you thinking, it's the machine thinking. So how are you going to protect, right? And so, you know, okay, yeah, this is a challenging area in law. Let's learn something new. And how is it coping? So this is what makes you want to gives you energy to practice more because you learn new things, right? So never stop learning, right? The third thing maybe I would say is most important as a lawyer. You need to develop what I call a skilled legal legal thinking process.
skilled
So,
legal thinking process. Okay.
okay, yeah. So the most important thing for lawyers to understand is, for me, it's how we think first,
Okay.
and then how we say it.
Okay. That's two
Okay,
separate parts. How we
there's two
think and
separate
how we
parts,
say.
right? If you don't think first and you say, then you simply say, it's gonna be
Yeah.
a problem, right? You think, but you don't know how to say it in the best way, also a problem.
Okay, correct.
Okay, right? So what makes a lawyer complete is a skilled legal thinking process before you communicate, right? So you know our degree is called LLB,
Yeah.
right? LLB.
Yes.
So do you know why it's called LLB? Why the
Oh,
L
good
come first?
question.
L
I would say
because
legal, law or
ah
legal.
so if you just say Bachelor of Laws, right? So it should be just be BL, right? Why
Yeah,
is it
you're right.
LLB, right? Yeah, LLB because it's Latin.
Oh,
Latin, but it means Bachelor of Laws. Legum Bachelaris is
okay.
right. Yeah, just like medicine, right?
Uh,
MBBS, right?
okay.
It means Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery. But MB because Medicalis Bachelaris. So Bachelor of
Oh,
Medicine, right? Yeah.
I didn't know until today.
Yeah. So I always take the two L's because it's
Okay.
called LL because legum is plural word. So the short form will
Okay.
be LL.
Okay.
Okay, legum is laws, not law, but laws. So Bachelor of Laws. We know many laws, right? Yeah. So I always, you know, I have friends who say, hey, my son wants to be a lawyer. Do you think you make a good lawyer? What are the signs I must see, right? Whether he's going to be he should do law or not, right? So I take these two words. Remember, I talked about thinking and saying,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
So I say language and logic,
Mm.
right? Yeah.
Mm.
If you just like language, then you can be a writer, you can be a journalist, you can be
Okay.
right.
And logic.
If you just like logic, you be engineer, you be right, not
I
but
know.
but for lawyer,
Okay.
you must think properly logically,
And
and then
convey
you
it.
must express it. I mean, if you're in court, you're arguing, right? When you argue with a judge, you're saying A plus B equals C. I got A, I got B, you must give me C. That's an entirely a logical process. You don't decide based on whether you like my face, don't like my face, right? You must. So it's so logical, right? But then
Yes.
you have to convince the judge why you have A and why you have B, right? And so you must say the words that, you know, scratch where it itches, make him interested in you, that kind of stuff. The same thing happens when you give advice. The client, you say too many things, the client also get lost. This client needs short words, short phrases. You draft like that. This client needs more flower. You draft with flower so that the client feels, wow, very impressive lawyer, lah. Okay, that kind of stuff, right? Yeah. So, but then whatever you're saying must be logical so that, I get it, right? And everyone else will also get it. No one can argue my logic because logic is logic, right? Yeah. So that's what I mean by this what you should strive for you to become. right? Not just for you to do, but for you to become, right? Yeah.
I think there's like, oh my God, I was like, keep on having a boom, boom, aha moment during this like only 20-minute session. I was like, learn so much. I didn't realize that law is a combination between logic plus language until you mentioned to me. I'm like, thank you so much for sharing today. It's really, really, I hope that you guys loving this special episode that we do, the interview with Mr. Chew. So if let's say you guys been loving it, you know what, you can actually get in touch with Mr. Chew at the, I'm just going to put the link in and the email down below. So thank you so much, Mr. Chew, for have you be on our show. It's like full of aha moment. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thank
Bye,
you.
June.
Bye.
Bye.